Hey everyone, here today with a quick review of an audiobook that I just listened to, and it's Chomp by Carl Hiaasen. And this is a book for young readers. It's probably aimed at middle grade readers, although I would say that even older teens might enjoy it, and indeed, people who are older than teenagers will also enjoy it. But certainly aimed at sort of that middle grade, 5th to 8th grade demo. Now, this particular book is Carl Hiaasen's fourth novel for young readers. It came out in 2012, so about a decade ago, and this audiobook was narrated by James Van Der Beek. Now, if you're a millennial or slightly older, you probably remember James Van Der Beek from Dawson's Creek and other such shows from the turn of the millennium. And he does a great job narrating this book. It's a very funny book, as all of Carl Hiaasen's books are, and James Van Der Beek brings the right degree of sort of cynicism and sarcasm combined with hope and sort of laughing in the face of absurdity, which really are the hallmarks of Hiaasen's writing. Now, this particular book is set in Florida, as are most of his, I guess it's coming up on about 20 novels for adult readers. They're mostly crime novels, sort of absurdist, humorist crime novels. And this one's no different. The only thing is that it's suitable for younger readers. So he's basically expunged a lot of the sex and drugs and ultra-violence that really pepper his other works. And I must say I am a huge fan of his adult genre novels, his mystery crime novels. And I was really happy. This is the first of his young adult books that I've read, and I was really happy to see how he translated his style and his vibe over to a different demographic, to a younger reader set. Now, very quickly, I mean, you can go and find a summary of the book if you're so interested. It's about a young boy who has an animal trainer father, raises wild animals, and they get hired by a reality TV show, which is quite clearly based on The Crocodile Hunter, going as far as to have a host who has an Australian accent, even though he's not actually Australian. And they get hired to provide all the sort of animal wrangling and the wild animal expertise for the show. And they find out very quickly that, no surprise, the world of TV production is completely phony and filled with all sorts of ridiculous, corrupt, and self-satisfied people. And they sort of have to navigate their way through that. And then our young hero, Wahoo, he meets and makes friends with a young girl named Tuna, who's on the lam from her abusive father. And thus, the stories sort of are set into motion. And as I said, as with a lot of Hiaasen's work, this is set in Florida, in the Everglades, and so you get a good dose of the wildness of Florida, both in the sense of its nature and wild animals, but also just kind of how crazy Florida can be. And of course, Hiaasen was writing this stuff long before the rise of sort of the Florida man meme and that business. So it's all very fun. And like I said, Van Der Beek does a great job. He doesn't do too many voices. He does throw a great Australian accent on our phony Australian host, Derek Badger, as well as pitching his voice in other ways to make the characters come alive a little bit, which I think is sort of essential, I'd say, when you're narrating a book for younger readers. Although in this case, the writing is strong and the humor is strong, and it could probably stand on its own without any sort of voices and accents and whatnot. No sound effects to speak of, and if memory serves, no real sort of music cues or anything. So it really is just a pure bit of narration. And as I said, I think Van Der Beek does a great job. And I'm quite eager to go back and read some of Hiaasen's other books for young readers. So once again, just a quick overview. James Van Der Beek narrating Carl Hiaasen's Chomp from 2012. I give it 5 alligators out of 5. And I'll end this review with a reminder to support your local libraries and your local booksellers. Don't forget, if your library provides audiobooks either in the old-fashioned CD format or more likely in an MP3 format or online, please do check them out. They're usually free. It's a much better choice, in my opinion, than a subscription service. You can usually get access to some of the great books with some really great narrators. And also, many libraries take requests. So if Chomp, narrated by James Van Der Beek, is something you'd like to listen to, or a young reader in your life would like to listen to, and your local library doesn't have it, why don't you ask them, see if they'll get it and bring it in. It does make for a great summer read, and hopefully I'll be back with some more audiobook reviews, since I do love audiobooks, all types and for all ages, and I've certainly found a few good ones lately, and looking forward to sharing them with you. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you did, so just click on that button there, and we'll see you next time to talk about stories and books and audiobooks and all that good stuff.